Hello, guys, and I join you as I have a thought. All right, so here's the thought. So, I want to increase my profit as fast as possible. So, in order to do that, I was thinking, should I be buying an airport? I know it's a downtick, but my profit hasn't really been increasing. Oh, that's not where I had look at profit. Um, it's been kind of stagnating. I'm getting more affected by the uptick and downtick as my margins get worse. It's inevitable as you kind of saturate the routes in your hub. I also wanted to invest more, but I couldn't really do it because, unfortunately, basically what would happen is if I invest more, my profit goes down a bit too much to be comfortable with it at this time. Speaking specifically for service investment. So I decided against it. Not really sure if that was the right idea. But we'll see if it pays off in the long run. San Diego to LA to London to Karachi, that's probably not worth a second 747. Yeah, a second 747 on a route like that feels like it'd be equal to losing money. So we have Mumbai and Mexico City is probably the last route, which I'm going to double up on. Double upping on routes like this really decreases the margin, kind of makes the margin much worse, but it does increase the amount of raw revenue you get. Like, for example, this route would be making about 6K normally. See, and then you can see this, it's much more affected by the up and down ticks as well. As like a little side effect I've noticed. Everything else, though, it seems to be doing pretty well. I finally had enough routes, so I run out of fuel in one tick. So let's go ahead and buy more fuel tanks. Once again, I've noticed the fuel tank, it doesn't care where the fuel tanks are. So you actually just go ahead and buy fuel tanks at any airport, and it somehow saves you fuel. Don't ask me how that works, but that works. Let's go ahead and purchase this, and what else did I need to do? Yeah, so I was gonna think, should I be buying airports? Because I'm not quite expanding fast enough to get new hubs really quickly. Like, New York is in what? That is how many turns? 7 more turns. I don't know if I have 7 more turns of routes to London. I mean, look at this city. It's starting to look kind of ridiculous. Like this fan of routes coming out from it, which just go to about everywhere. Like there's some like decent routes left, like this for example. Once again, I don't really want to use Chennai and the other one yet. What's the other one called? Moulton, which are decent cities, but I want to kind of save them. So I guess I'm going to be using routes like this. Wait, what did it say? Oh, I can't own more slots, so we got to go and cancel some slots. So let's go and cancel some of these Luxembourg schedules. Yeah, canceling schedules is a super pain though, because then you have to go re-find that city, where you finally found a nice like takeoff destination or something like that. Then you gotta go find and delete it. Yeah, now I've basically stooped to the point where, what is this default pricing? 1.35. Get out of here. I don't feel like doing the manual pricing thing right now. Or what I mean by like the using the filter to do it. I'm just gonna do it here. Any cities with an airport. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm literally that's my new standard for a route to London is if it has an airport, it probably should work. Yeah, let's take a look. Bloomington, no. Fargo, yes. Okay, you have been selected. That is basically what I'm doing now. Just because I've been running so much out of airports, which do work, and that price has a 1.29 price, which is gonna be my first one where I let it go despite being wrong. Yeah, I bought some range boosted 707s. I'm gonna buy some range boosted DC8s just to see what I can do with these. If I can make some routes I couldn't make before or something like that. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but go ahead and purchase a few of these. Go ahead and pass the turn on to an uptick. See how much profit we get. 400,000. Close, close. Pretty good prediction, though. Yep, and taking a look at this. No, go ahead and get our fuel. Yeah, come on, we didn't hit 400,000, but like, look at this top page of routes. Boy, is it delicious. Like some of these only don't even have great load factor, but like, you see at the bottom line, each 747 isn't making much more, but at the top line, they're doing a lot better. I think some of these aren't doing too well. Like this guy. Oh wow, it's doing pretty well actually. It seems that I don't know what I'm talking about. These 747 routes are fine. Anyways, that's basically all I want to share. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep expanding, and when something interesting happens, like New York opens or something, I'll be back. And welcome back, guys. It is finally now an interesting time because I have just noticed, and I literally mean just now, that New York is ready for a new base, and I am in desperate need of this. So let's go ahead and open that branch up immediately. Yeah, because I'm severely, severely lacking everything in London now, from slots to to everything. I owned almost 3,000 slots. I mean, look at the route coverage. I mean, that is just about like probably it's like 70 to 80% of all cities on Earth. Especially the ones with airport, probably like 85% coverage already. Um, so yeah, there's not much more to do out of there. But from New York, we still have loads of options. Now, look at this pool of cities in the Europe ready to be made stopovers. Yet the first stopovers I'm gonna make are gonna look like this. Now, why am I making such quote unquote bad stopovers where I could make good ones? And the main reason for that is just because I'm waiting for better planes, because obviously I didn't know I was going to unlock New York this turn specifically because I wasn't really paying attention that much. So yeah, I didn't know I was going to get New York unlocked this turn. So now that I do know I have New York unlocked this turn, I'm going to be really focusing on New York with the 747s at first before transitioning, of course, into other planes. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to invest more heavily in the Asian cities I fly to, because otherwise that half of the stopover route is going to be mostly empty. Yeah, just the way stopover routes interact, they vastly favor the side for the city that has a greater name value. So if one side has a pretty like connecting two cities with terrible name value, which isn't usually the case because there's not so many hub enabled cities in the regular game, but the way I'm playing, there are a ton of cities with hub enabled. Um, then you get this weird effect where, well, that's down to 3 schedules a week. So let's go to Shanghai because it's a little bit closer. Should be back. Oh, still down to 3. How about Beijing? Can you give me 4 schedules a week? Thank you. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so yeah, if you have really, really low lane value and like between a pair of cities, you are not going to get very much load factor, which is something I learned from actually watching the AIs when I was still playing online. Anyways, is that too far? Oh, that's not too far. Perfect. I'm using Tokyo. Ooh, that is too far in the sense that I dropped to 3 schedules a week. That's still 3 a week. And that should be 4 a week. Yeah, the most important and foremost thing for me right now is getting 4 schedules a week on these routes. And yeah, one more plane, and we can do New York to say Ankara is a bit big, so don't want to waste that. Something like this is perfect, and then over to Beijing is usually the closest. And because that's 3 schedules a week, we're just gonna go with the farthest thing we can reach, which is Shanghai. Shanghai, Beijing, and Tokyo being the 3 cities which I have started to invest in, I believe. So let's go ahead and fix that up. Perfect. Additionally, okay, we need to patch this up. Wow, we're over 100 offices and 100 counters in London now. It's pretty early for that. Where the frick is New York on this list? There it is. Now we need to make this our new hub. So let's go ahead and purchase the fuel tanks, the maintenance, the lounge, and the counters to go with it. I'll start off by purchasing 20 of each of these because I foresee very rapid growth and I don't want to revisit this page hundreds of times just to, add a couple counters, and I'm going to buy fuel before I forget that. And with the rest of my money is, of course, going to be leased 747s. 6 of them, apparently, because I cannot afford 7. So, yeah, perfect. I think that's all we need to do. We can go ahead and pass the turn now. Oh, no. I made a mistake. Okay, so there were the DC 62 routes that I made last turn. As you guys can see, they're all below 30% or 40% load factor. So below 40% load factor, we're going to set the price to 1.3. Yeah, I forgot to change the prices for all those routes to a good fare. So that's sorted out now. As you guys can see, also my profit went down, but it's actually going up because the branch expense is 60K. So this should actually be 40K higher than this, which is quite a bit. Or not 40K, 60K higher than this. So I should be at 300, 440K-ish profit. But unfortunately, the branch expense, of course, is going to prevent us from actually seeing that. I'm going to go ahead and get some fuel and then get even more 747s. Probably as many as I can lease, which is going to be apparently 9 of them. Holy shit. Alright, that should be enough 747s. That's 15. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to think of 15 routes which want a 747, but we'll make it work. Yeah, also these northern cities are very, very nice for these stopovers, as you guys can see, because they make it to Tokyo with 4 schedules, following the curvature of the Earth, which is very, very nice. And we're also going to go ahead, I guess, make sure we have enough counters and offices and such in the cities we're stopping over into. Yeah, because in the future we're going to come back and make these cities hubs anyway, so might as well get started on that now. So let's go ahead and make a few more routes. It's pretty late at night right now, which is why I'm speaking in an even lower register than normal. So hopefully that's not too hard to hear. I just don't want to wake too many people up. Yeah. Even Seoul is freaking huge. Seoul is bigger than Shanghai in this world. Hold up, I'm gonna do Seoul instead then. Yeah. And let's make sure we're investing in Seoul then. Let's give this a good that much. 4,000 a month isn't too much right now. Easily expendable for the worth it'll get me in the long run. And yeah, we're just gonna continue to expand into these Asian cities, and I think I'm gonna need something pretty short to actually get 4 schedules a week. No, it looks like we're not getting 4 schedules a week, period. So we're just gonna go with Tokyo. If you can't get an extra schedule a week on a stopover route, make it as long as possible. And if you can get an extra schedule, make it the longest possible route, which still gets an extra schedule. At those breakpoints, the profit is a lot higher. It's actually significant if you remember to do it every time. If you only remember to do it sometimes, it'll make a very small difference unless you do it particularly on your big routes. So for example, if I did this on my 747 routes only and my DC-8 routes, I just didn't bother and just made routes as fast as I could, for example, then I might not really notice the difference, but I definitely would if I did it on my 747s. So yeah, but as I'm going to eventually upgrade a lot of these planes you see now to a lot larger planes, it will make a pretty big difference. And I didn't care about details in the first times I played, and it ended up not working out very well. especially when I started to try and pass turns fast, is when things started to go sour really fast. So in this playthrough, I'm going to try not to do that. I'm also going to buy a couple Tupolovs, just as kind of slot occupiers on shitty routes. Not because I really need more leases or anything. And yeah, that's all I need to do this turn. And we can get a better idea what our actual profit is like. That's not very good. But this is also a down take. Look at that World Traveler Index. Holy. Yeah, we have a 6 747s now. So my idea with these 747s is do a bit of overlapping. But the overlapping seems pretty bad right now in terms of how much competition there is. So instead, I'm going to do something like this. Yeah. So like I'm going to do stopovers with medium-sized to large-sized cities in the middle. I guess medium is the best way to describe these cities. Then I'm going to look for to do these stopovers like Berlin and Hamburg. When you add the business and tour, you get around 400. These, at least on the New York side, will easily fill a 747. But on the Tokyo side, maybe not initially because the name value is quite low. Yeah, name value does make a huge difference in the load factors that you get. Ooh, Cairo, that's a brilliant route. See if I can find a brilliant place to end the route too. Only 3 schedules a week. Shanghai, please give me 4. Nope. Anywhere in the world which will give me 4, which is still a big city. Doesn't look like it. So if I'm gonna get 3 schedules, I'll go with Tokyo. I could easily use 2 aircraft, but I'll look into adding the second one later, not right now. Mostly when the route is already established, it would be more worth adding a second one. What else can I do? I guess Alexandria, just do Cairo's neighbor, which is not too much smaller even. And I'll stop that in Beijing, I guess. That should give me 4 schedules a week. Yep, perfect. Very nice, very nice. And then we should get New York to, let's see. There, a lot of the best ones are already taken, and a lot of the other good ones like this have like so many competitors. I'm almost certain I can't make a great amount of profit competing with that. With 4 planes to compete with, like no matter how many more your nice plane, because you know I'm using a 747, which is a quite nice plane. No matter how much more the nice plane gets, it can't like draw all the customers over. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. On the bright side, can I reach Santiago? I can. So I can do something like Santiago to New York to like Casablanca or something. Yeah, that's a pretty good stopover route. Go ahead and make that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then go ahead and set all the prices to 1.3, the most important step in making stopovers. And then, what else? Buy the fuel. Should I order more 747s? Let me think about this for a second. I think so. I mean, I'm going to be able to find a home for more than 9 more of them, even if they're competing homes. So, yeah, let's go ahead and order 5 more, because that's as many as we can. And then we'll order Tupolevs to fill up slots in a slightly profitable way. Let's go with 4. Now, let's just empty the bank account on TU-124s. Yeah, these are like basically the backup slots, and then like for each airport I should order about 10 of those, which occupies, I don't know, 300 or so slots, which when you convert them into long haul is a ton and a ton of routes, so that you never really run out of routes. When you find good long haul routes, you never really run out of slots to take them with. Yeah, so that's going to be what I do for that. On another note, as you can see, I've maximally invested in Los Angeles to make that hub come up as soon as possible. In Chicago, after that, and then I have to pick another one after that, and I don't know what I should pick. I think Frankfurt. Oh, Paris, Paris. I should definitely pick Paris. So let's go ahead and get Paris quite high on the investment list. Yeah, that's good idea. All right, now we can go ahead and pass the turn. Ooh, that's a pretty sizable loss in profit. Let's take a look at these routes. Yeah, look, I'm saying, this is what I'm saying, the routes that involve the opposite side do not do very well. My suspicion is because my name value in Tokyo is not very high. What is this? Like 19? Yeah, that's hardly anything. Yeah, for whatever reason, that causes extremely low route utilization, load factors, but I think it'll recover in due time. And the route is technically good, and the other half, the half involving New York, is definitely profitable. Like, you see the New York side is already profitable despite it being the first turn. The other one will just take a lot longer to ramp up. And then even once it's ramped up, it'll take a lot longer to actually grow into profitability. Also, I've abandoned the good old 707 for the newer DC-8s. The reason being the DC-8s are, they have a slightly longer range, so I'm less likely to have to micromanage. And they also have a few more seats, I believe. I can't remember. 707, 180. No, they have the same amount of seats. Never mind. I don't know why I chose that then, because 707 is more fuel efficient. So, it's also faster. Yeah, I do not know why I chose to get so many DC-8s. I will switch back to the 707 when possible. The DC-8's literally just longer range. That's it. So, yeah, I'll switch back for the next bunch. I forgot kind of that the 707 is actually a much better aircraft. So, yeah, looking at this, looks like I made a bit of a mistake in ordering the amount of planes I did. I think I will just be able to figure out enough routes to make this work. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the case. I have 9 of them, and then a few more incoming. 5 more incoming. Jeez. Yeah, it's going to be a struggle. Unless I can find more routes like this. Can I reach Tokyo on 4 schedules? I can. I probably could have reached Zurich on 4 schedules then, but or not Zurich, the previous city I just did. I don't know what it's called anymore. I forgot already. Pescara, there we go. What else do we have? We have Stockholm and Oslo. These routes are comfortably big enough to be considered for a 747. I just wish the Tokyo side was more profitable right off of that, because they seem to be extremely unprofitable right off of that. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. But what can you do besides, wait for them to become profitable? Alright, that's perfect indeed. Yeah, we're getting a lot of routes already, though, considering how early it is into the game, which is a very nice thing. And also, the extremely generous World Traveler Index is extremely helpful as well. Like, getting 4 schedules a week on all these routes is so helpful. And, like, the fact that the World Traveler is so high, it makes these routes profitable, even though in a normal world, it would be much closer. Yeah, like, sometimes, like, I'll be playing in a world where when the economy crashes, the economy is still better than it is in most of my worlds. Like, I played one world where my friend had an economic crash, and the World Traveler Index crashed from 5,300 to like 3,800, 5,300 to 3,800, something like that. So like a 1,500 point drop, and he was like, "Oh, this is such a big deal. The World Traveler Index is so bad. Everybody's losing money." And I'm just like, bro, the highest I've ever seen in one of my worlds was like at that point like 3,500. Besides the first Air Tycoon 1 world I ever played in, had like a 6,000 world traveler index at the end. But can you guess what that world was played with my friend, my extremely lucky friend, who always gets high world traveler index worlds for like he's played 3 worlds ever. Every single one had the highest world traveler index I had ever seen in that respective game. So he's played one Air Tycoon 2, one Air Tycoon 2 and one Air Tycoon 3 in total, and every single time he had got the biggest world I had seen in that respective game. I mean, that is a level of luck which I do not have, but like at the same time, when the world gets that big, it's kind of weird because once stopovers were invented, I mean, that makes every single route possible in the entire game, probably to a lot of those hubs, viable routes. At the same time, I think it was much less known how good stopovers were. Though, I think they were only released in Air Tycoon 2 stopover routes. So, yeah, I guess in Air Tycoon 1, you really needed a higher World Traveler Index to make a lot of routes work. So, yeah, why I got these two Tupolev also is to just occupy some nearby routes to London to fill up the last remaining slots so nobody else can have them, of course. Go ahead and open this. Let's go ahead and make sure everything is maxed out. Ooh, I'm feeling a little bit tired now. All of a sudden, it strikes me that I'm tired. It is late. I will probably just finish off the planes which I ordered in this episode, which include, those few more 747s, and then I can probably go ahead and go to sleep. I also feel like I'm stuttering a lot now, a lot more than usual even, and that's also probably just because I'm tired. Let's go ahead and max these slots out. You kidding me? I'm that short? Okay. I don't have an airplane to occupy the last 10 slots, so I guess Heathrow will just have 10 slots. And also, why is Heathrow getting so far away from where London is? London is over here, guys. Oh, gosh. And I don't even know British geography. I just know it's over there. Hopefully I remember to buy fuel. Okay, I definitely did, judging by my profit increasing on a downtick. That's always nice to see. 0.4 is one of the most terrible ticks. I think the second most terrible tick, only 2.5. Only 0.5 is worse. Yet we seem to be doing fine in profit. So we got fuel, and the next thing I need to do actually is I need to just max out these Tupolev orders because I need to do slot occupation in New York. Occupy a few hundred slots. That should be pretty good. Just with some cheap, not too profitable Tupolevs. Not sacrificing very much profit, of course, because they don't cost very much, which is nice. And that is way too far. That was an ambitious stopover setup. I think Lagos to New York could work for something like this. And I definitely want to compete on LA, no matter how many planes there are. Reason being, I have name value in both, and it's my hubs. So I just got to, and I gotta have a transcontinental flight too, just to be somewhat realistic. All right, so let's do Vienna as another city which is slightly bigger than the standard. I love how fast 7-4 flies as well. Like a route like this, like Vienna to New York, or New York to Vienna, my bad, is excellent. And it still gets 4 schedules, where on a DC-8 or a 707, it would not. So what the frick is that auto pricing? Let's see, what else? Just a few more of these, and then I'll be good. Like how something like this. 2 companies, that's a lot of schedules. 24 schedules at this range. Oof. Okay. Do we have any other. Well, Valencia is freaking huge, so I'm gonna use Valencia. I've never seen Valencia be so big in any world before this. Can I reach Shanghai? Can I reach Seoul? No. Okay, it's just Beijing. Yeah, I've literally never seen Valencia get so big before. That's a new one. What else do we have? We have New York to Luxembourg. We already did that. Birmingham, Glasgow, Dublin even. Dublin is bigger than Glasgow in this world. It might always be, actually. I am not sure. I think Glasgow is usually bigger, though. I guess there's some random factors associated with it. But I've never had a world where, for example, Los Angeles isn't the biggest. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. I remember going late game to a world which hit 4,000 World Traveler Index, and Chicago had 800 business, which was freaking hilarious because you can open any cargo at 800 business. Like, I mean, any cargo route to any city, even ones you've never heard of or like kind of meme sized cities, which are just so tiny, and the cargo will just fill. It's like magical powers. All right, Gdansk is for wait. Wait. I think I forgot something. Buenos Aires. Yes. So this is a pretty good one. New York, Buenos Aires to where? Can I find one of these cities without too much competition? I don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah. Let's just do Paris because it's big, and I want to eventually open a base in Paris. There we go. Let's go to our pricing based on default. Make sure it only applies to the brand new routes. I'm sure I don't have any routes with less than 20% occupancy already. That would be a major disaster. What the frick? There's some unpriced routes. I think I didn't reset the prices for the last batch of routes, but we can see that anything that's basically off full can be set to 1.3, and that won't really mess anything up. This is a nice thing about being a small company, is you can use this thing carelessly, and it doesn't make a big difference. Very nice. So with that said, that's probably about all 7 for 7 routes I want to make. I will continue by just using, no, almost again. By using 707s. Did I buy fuel? If I didn't, I won't have very much fuel, but alright, very nice. TU-124s. I'll use those off camera. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. It's been pretty long. I'm getting pretty tired, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.